Davos. Really pleased now to be joined by Lutfey Siddiqi. You're a young global leader here.
Yes.
Tell me about what you've been working on with regards to extremism.
So a few of us in that community have tried to frame a way to counter the narrative, particularly to counter the fact that the social fabric is stretched thin in multicultural Western societies. And we think some of the things that can be done, first of all, constructive conflict. I think if we can consciously train ourselves and raise awareness on how to engage in conflict without things getting personal, it's a trainable skill that can be taught either in school or also to adults, then we think that is going to be an important contribution. Secondly, we need to think beyond tolerance. Tolerance is passive, and sometimes it preserves harmony on the surface, but when things boil over, it's not very resilient. So we need to go beyond harmony and tolerance and think about proactively seeking diversity. That's important. And then we need to look beyond the tyranny of the or, so not the false binaries. We're often led to believe that it's either growth or inclusion. It's one or the other, whereas in most cases, if you really look deeper, you can rise above and look at better solutions. So these are the things that we'd like to keep in mind.
It brings to mind a conversation that I had recently with somebody who was from Turkey, actually talking about the conversation in the Middle East about gender sometimes gets a bit fuzzy. Gender justice versus gender equality. And she was saying in the Middle East sometimes people say, well, gender justice is enough. And it sounds like you're making kind of a similar point with one of those.
Yes, so gender diversity is clearly a big issue, but I think diversity is beyond gender, beyond visual diversity. What I'm really talking about is cognitive diversity. You may think differently about something, and I may think differently about something else, and we could both be right. That's actually one of the characteristics of the fourth industrial revolution, is that the outcomes can be one of two extremes. Professor Schwab said yesterday, it holds either the possibility of extreme peril or extreme promise. And so we need to be able to hold two ideas up at the same time, rather than make it binary, either you're with me or against me.
What are you going to do with these ideas? I know it's early days, but what are your thoughts?
Well, we've started workshops with communities in various parts of the world, and we want to really intensify it. I think it needs to be spoken about so that the terrain is not as ripe for extremists, whether religious or even secular, in the political arena that we're seeing extremist politics, so that they don't find easy prey amongst people.
Thank you very much. We're going to have to stop because we're now being rained on by the melting snow. But thank you so much for stopping by the Hub Culture Pavilion. I'm Edie Lush.